Hello everyone and welcome to Leadership Evolution. My name is Jim and today I want to show you how you can continue to develop your leadership presence by using your voice in all the right ways. Now, you're a leader, so you naturally step into voids whenever you see them. Like whenever people don't know what to do, whenever there's confusion, whenever there's something that should be done but nobody's doing it. You're a leader, so you will naturally step into those voids. And when you do, you're bringing your voice to the situation. You want to bring your ideas. You want to bring what it is that's inside of you to the situation so that you can bring clarity and provide direction and come to resolution. And when you can bring your voice in all the right ways to situations when it's needed, that will separate you from the pack. Because most people are vocal, but they're vocal in all the wrong ways. They're afraid to be vocal when they should be. In other words, they're afraid of conflict, for example, and so they avoid it at all costs. Therefore, their voice is not heard and their leadership potential is capped. Or they're vocal in all the wrong ways, like they complain or gossip and talk about the situation or talk about people and fail to bring resolution and clarity to the situation. And so their leadership potential and their careers really are capped because of that. Today, I want to show you how you can use your voice, and I hope that you'll use your voice and your presence to build something, not to tear something apart, but to actually build it up. So I want to give you 3 ways you can do that. The first way is to practice candor. Now, candor is the ability and the quality of being open and being honest in all situations. Now, I have to say that in my coaching practice, I talk to a lot of people and very few practice candor in their lives. Most people withhold and they keep it inside of them and they're not willing to express what they think. They're not willing to share what they believe. They're not willing to be open about what it is that they're thinking. And I want different for you. One way that you can use your voice in a right way is to practice candor. Be open and honest about your hesitations. The next time you're sitting in a meeting with your colleagues and everyone's moving in a direction and in your mind and in your heart you're thinking, this is not right and I object, you got to be able to express that. Practicing candor is the ability to object and to talk about your hesitations instead of just doing the corporate nod and saying, yep, because everyone else is saying something and they're all doing this too, and so you join in. So practice candor with your hesitations. Practice candor with your wants. What is it that you want? Be open, be honest about that. Talk about what you want with your colleagues. Talk about what you want with the people that are underneath you. Talk about what you want with your boss. Practice candor when it comes to feedback. And when you pull someone aside and you say, look, I want to help you out here and talk to them about that. Be willing to practice candor with them. Now, practicing candor does not mean that you're brutally honest. I know people who say, well, that's just what I think, and I'm going to say what I think because I want to be honest, because I want to be candid with you. Being brutally honest is really obnoxious aggression. That's not candor. Candor is being thoughtful and helpful, right? So you want to say what's on your mind and you want to help in the situation, but you're also taking into consideration what the other person is thinking and what they're feeling. It's saying what you need to say and being human about it. So practice candor. And there's a lot more we could say about this subject, and all of them, by the way. And maybe I will do another video about candor and about these next 2 topics as well, because they probably warrant a video on their own. But I want you to know that if you're a leader and you want to live into your fullest potential and you want to develop and expand your influence, then you've got to be vocal. And you've got to be vocal in all the right ways. And one way to do that is to practice being candid. Now, the second way that you can use your voice to expand your leadership influence is to lean into conflict. Now, I know that goes against our natural inclination because most of us avoid conflict at all costs. We're afraid of it. We don't want people to be disagreeing with us. We don't want people to be mad at us or angry with us. We don't want the reaction that we're going to get from people whenever there's conflict, and so we avoid it. Not you. You're a leader. So you're going to notice conflict, and you're going to want to bring your voice. You want to bring your presence into some conflict, not all. You're going to choose your conflicts wisely, by the way. Not all conflict is for you to get involved in. But some conflict is, right? And so you're going to bring your leadership presence. You're going to bring your voice to the situation in order to bring about resolution. Here's how you're going to do that. You're going to speak in an unarguable way. If you bring up things in an argumentative way, that only perpetuates the conflict. It doesn't bring about resolution. So learn to speak unarguably. This is a great way for you to use your voice in all the right ways. Speak unarguably. Avoid phrases like you always jump to conclusions. That's a judgment call that's argumentative because they will probably disagree with you, if not vocally, at least in their heads, and the conflict is just being perpetuated because you're using an argumentative phrase. So avoid the word always. You never listen to me. You never see it my way. Those are argumentative statements. You see, don't label people. That's also argumentative. That's just a way to perpetuate the conflict. Don't use phrases like "you must think I'm an idiot," right? Because you're just making a judgment call. These are all phrases. They're all things that we use sometimes when we're having these conflict conversations, arguments, right? We use argumentative phrases that just perpetuate and throw fuel on the fire, and the conflict gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Instead, use unarguable truth. This is what happened, and make sure that everyone's clear about what happened. And what happened, by the way, is the story as told by a video camera, for example. Because a video camera will tell you what happened, but it won't attach any judgments or feelings or anything else to it. This is what happened. You went to the boss instead of coming to me, right? That's what happened. And this is how I feel about that. That's unarguable. When I tell you what I feel about a situation, you can't argue with me about that. So you went to the boss instead of coming to me, and I feel angry. I feel betrayed. I feel hurt about that. You see, that is an unarguable truth. Something else that is unarguable is I'm having the thought that, so you went to the boss behind my back and I feel angry, I feel hurt, and I'm having the thought that you went around me because of politics. Now, when you say that I'm having the thought, what you're saying to them is this is what's going through my head right now, but you're also telling yourself that I have this thought, it doesn't have me. I could be wrong. But I want you to know that I'm having this thought. When you lean into conflict using unarguable truth, then all parties involved can actually get to a resolution. They can have a better connection and a better relationship as a result. Why? Because you're not inflaming the situation with arguable statements. Always, 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 as you lean into conflict, have resolution as your goal. A third way for you as a leader to be vocal in all the right ways is to express what you want. Now, most of us are very good at expressing what we don't like or what's wrong. And what happens is we live there and we complain, and our energy never goes in a positive direction. My coaching to you today is to notice what's wrong, go ahead and express it. Go ahead and complain about it for a while, because sometimes complaining about what's wrong helps you to articulate something so that you can then identify what it is that you want. And that's what's important here. If you're going to be vocal in all the right ways, you're going to express what you want. So here's how it works. Something happens. You notice what's wrong. And maybe you have to complain about it for a minute because you have to articulate what's wrong. But then you quickly move on to, what do I want? This is what happened and this is what's wrong, but what do I want? And when you can start to articulate what it is that you want out of the situation, your energy shifts from complaining and what's negative to a solution and what's positive. Only then can you come up with a plan for how to fix it, or how to get out of it, or how to change it, or how to make sure that it doesn't happen again. So if you want to live up to your fullest potential as a leader, one of the ways that you can be vocal is to express what you want. Notice the situation and complain about it for a minute, but move your energy quickly over to the plan. This is the direction we're going to be going. This is what I want out of this situation. This is what we want out of the situation. Choosing to be vocal as a leader is so important. And I hope that you'll practice candor. And I hope that you'll lean into conflict in order to gain resolution. And I hope that you'll express what you want in all situations so that your energy is moving in a positive direction. In all those situations, I hope that you'll be open and understand that just because you have an opinion, and you should, or a belief about something doesn't mean that it's right, or doesn't mean that it can't be compromised. So be open and curious and bring yourself to the situation, but also be willing to adapt and compromise and change. I hope that you'll also be selective. Not every battle has to be your battle to fight. So choose the ones that you want to be involved with because you have something to bring to the table, because you have a solution, because you have a direction, some clarity that you can bring to it. Otherwise, stay out of it. And I also hope that you'll be vocal for progress. Don't complain just to complain. Don't criticize just because you want other people to agree with you. Be vocal for progress. Continually move the conversation, move the energy, move the focus toward the solution. If you'll do that, then your leadership ability and your leadership influence will grow, and everyone is going to want to be around you. I hope that you'll do that, and I can't wait to see where it takes your life and your career. So, hey, what do you think? I hope that you'll leave your comments and your questions in the section below. Please also, if you wouldn't mind, taking a moment to hit that like button. It costs you nothing, but it means everything to me. It really does. I really appreciate it if you do that. If you want to be alerted for content whenever it comes out on this channel, Leadership Evolution, I hope that you'll hit the subscribe button and do that right now as well. Thank you for doing that. I hope that you'll keep evolving, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.